Truck Show here on the 25th. And I wanted to show you something. No, we didn't bust these. The dudes came over, tried to get them the other day. And so I'm just doing it on ones that are already busted already. But look at this. Look at that. This is the block. This is the block they got. And that is like, very unusual to see something like that. But I think that happens quite a bit here. Wes and I were watching this one house on the other side go up. Different crew from the one that built ours. But they were doing the same thing with the block, and they were picking them up and they were breaking. And they were using them. They were using them in two pieces with chunks out of them and just mudding the crap out of everything. So, you know, you need to be down. If you're getting a house built, you need to inspect all the materials that you get to make sure you're not getting crap. You know, I hope somebody from the company that's building these places comes down and looks at that and just takes a look. You know, so that they don't put this in a house, and that's what it looks like they're going to do. They did it on the other one, that other house where they had all the block that was the same thing. The day they brought them, the guys were picking them up and they were breaking. So, but I was watching the news. I think this news that we're getting is like, it's distraction news, you know, with this Tucker thing and Lemonhead. You know, Lemonhead, one thing about him, at least you know where that dude's coming from. You know what I mean? He states it. You know, 10 years ago it wasn't so bad, but now, you know, it's just a bunch of crap. Shakes, come on. And it's crazy. I think it's baloney, a lot of it. I was talking to a buddy, and he was talking about DeSantis. You know, you think he's going to run or not? And to me, I was like, damn. You know, I wouldn't think that would be a good guy, because look who's backing him, Soros. I also watch him glitch. You know how Hillary did her glitch thing? You watch DeSantis, he does the same thing, and a lot of times you'll see him, his eyes don't even blink, you know, when he's doing a news thing. So, but they're putting all this stuff up, all this news. They did the balloons, they do all this big news stuff, and I still want to see where Wiener's laptop is, and, you know, Epstein, and all that. You know, there's all this stuff that they just keep throwing new stuff on the pile, so you just lose interest in that and just let it go. And that's the big news. That's the news we need to get out. But you got these Jordan types in there. I watched different ones of them having their hearings, and they got this one hillbilly sounding dude. Well, I can't remember his name. And they talk a good game, but I don't believe they're going to do anything. Because if they do something to them, I'm sure those people got dirt on them and they'll just start squealing like a rat. They're all simps and punks. Yeah, go ahead. You can walk over there. My little buddy, he's off school today, so I'm going to have him all day. Mama's up at a meeting at the school, so that's kind of cool. It's nice to have him. It's fun to have him in the morning. He's going to go up and see our little female pup we gave the neighbor. Keeps her in the house. She's got real tall. Just like her mom. She got super tall. She looks great. My goodness, I was looking at her thinking, wow. You know, she seemed like she leaned up a little bit, and she's just absolutely looking fantastic. So, but I want to get Wes's bike out here for a ride one of these days soon. It's kind of dusty right now because of the construction. I washed it already, and it's just like I'm just not even going to wash it till I ride it, because all this, you know, it's just what we deal with here. And so I can't get that. I had a cover ordered. They sent it. I had to return it because it was too small. It was like a XXX. They showed it up looked like it was on a big gold wing. Oh, that'll be perfect for this, because it's a big bike, guys. It's a good sized bike. And it was too small. You know, it wouldn't cover it. And then Wes was saying, oh, there's a shop over there. So I went around looking at different shops, and I'm just not willing to pay the price. They want way over $100 for a cover. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm just not willing to pay that price for it. You know, even if it was my bike, you know. So, but we'll get him figured out. It's a nice machine. And I don't know if he's still going to sell it. I know he's down in where his house is in Central America, and he bought a 200cc Hero. Showed me some pictures of it riding home. Looks like a nice machine. And all them Hero bikes, that's a Honda designed motor. That's like the one here. It's a Motostar 400. That's the one that has 2 exhaust pipes, 2 spark plugs, and an oil cooler. And these people here think it's water cooled and 2-cylinder. You know, it's just funny. But that would be a perfect bike for this tricycle. And then pull this little bike off for running to the store and stuff. You know, that would be something down the road if that's, you know, if that's how it winds up happening. But I had some trouble. I had some trouble with the phone, and I was able to talk to Doc a little bit yesterday, and he got on there and he navigated me where I had to go and to turn these certain switches off. And so he said, your problem solved. So, and he's the dude. He's the dude. He's a computer scientist. So I'm glad he got that. He sounds good. He sounds like $1 million. He wanted to call it 4, but I said I had Dorothy, and then he said, then we'll call 5. Didn't hear anything. I don't like to call him because I don't want his phone ringing there. And he wound up calling at 6:30 because they took him to therapy. You know, he had some therapy stuff to do. So, but he's walking now. They got the floor underneath him moving. So, and he might be out there in a week or so, which will be really good because I know, just the food there. The food in those places is horrible. I was in the hospital for a good while, and it's just garbage food. There you are, buddy.
I'm gonna go to Macy's.
Yeah, I thought you were going there already.
But he's not there.
Okay, well then why would you want to go there? So I got to do a little tidying up around here. Kids were cutting stuff with scissors. Dorothy was showing me her homework and all her 100% on just about everything. And I was looking at that. Something. Okay. And then he's got his work. They're doing really good in school. I'm glad of that.
I just got one.
See? Okay.
I got one not correct.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure.
But all of them I got it correct.
Okay, get them all correct. Yeah, they had their exams. That's what they had last week off, and now they're studying again. That's for their finals. Will be coming up because they'll be off of school July. So that'll be really cool. We're hoping to do a big trip, and when they get off of school, we're tied down. This morning, I had to take a trip at 6:30, then another one at 8, and when Momo's in, then it's 11:30. And then it's 3 o'clock, and then it's 4 o'clock. So I'm constantly running back and forth. So kind of ties you down. I don't want to do anything on the bike in case if I get stuck in traffic or something, or I get a flat. And I'm not going to leave Wes's bike anywhere. And if something like that happens, then I can't be here to get the kids from school. So I just can't really ride it as much as I want to. But hopefully that'll change here coming up. Usually the weekends though, if I go somewhere the kids want to go, so it turns from a motorcycle ride into trike or car. So that's just the way it goes. But got my little shaky out there. Look at that pretty girl. We've been going around here in front of the house. There's Boomer too. Look at him. We've been going out around in front of the house, and I can't believe how many nails and rivet things we've been picking up. I'm really glad Maddie was out last night when Doc was on the phone, and he was picking them up while he was playing kickball. So, they always tell you when you move into a place, get in the last. Get in when everything's just about done. My dogs, I can't keep them off of this big pile across the way there. It's next to impossible. If I let them out, they want to go play in the sand and the dirt. And they're all cut up. I'm putting medicine on their sores daily because all the nails and glass and all the crap over there. Shaky's cut up on her feet and her arms. And I got to let them out run a little bit. They don't really go far. They stay right here. And if they do start chasing the cat and going off somewhere, I just whistle and they come back. So, and these guys don't mind them. They don't mind them at all. That one fellow's got his little kid there working. We got delivery coming. You know, it's pumping. It's, you know, everything's moving here. One of these days it'll be done, but we'll probably be gone by then. You know, and you know, here we're getting so many cracks everywhere. You know, we're getting cracks all over in the walls. We got one. We're getting there. We're getting a big one here. The wall's all cracking the heck. We got cracks all up and down this wall. I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but you know, the step in the front's crack, and there's, you know, there's another big crack. And you know, I would have loved to have been here. The dang convid messed it up where I couldn't be here, because I would have been inspecting everything they used and how they're doing it. You know, I wanted to be here, and I actually wanted to move across the road there. They had an apartment, wasn't real big, but had parking, and I was wanting to be there while the house was being built, because I was going to come over here every damn day and just keep an eye on things and make sure it's done to my satisfaction. We watched a guy here putting rebar in for those pillows, and there's a certain way you do it so they don't sink. And there's a way you bend these things where you got to bend the loop around and then cut a 45 out. And they weren't doing any of that. And it's actually a Filipino code, but they got no code enforcers here. These guys build whatever they want. The only time I ever seen anybody that looked like it was even slightly a code enforcer was when Badalec comes out and puts the meters in. That's it. And they self-inspect here, and they, you know, it's just, you know, I'm disillusioned with all their building. Make sure if you buy a house that's going to be built, or you're going to have it built, that, you know, you check everything and check that block. Look how that block it's just falling apart. You know, will they use it? I hope not. But this house over here, the one that Wes and I was watching for the longest time, should be right in the center of the camera there. That one. That block was the same like this one. And they were being real careful handing it up, and they were breaking. By the time they got up to the second floor, they were breaking, and they kept using them. We watched it. I took some films of it, and you could just try to pick one block up with one hand, it would break. You know, I used to help block layers. Now, the one thing, if you want to get block, and you're going to build a house, if you're going to do it out of block, my buddy Ronald, I went out to his company. He's a superintendent of a block company. And they make these blocks and they test them. He can make all the way up to 500 PSI, up to 8-story buildings. They got corners in them. They got the cutouts for the PVC conduit to run through for your electric, for your water. Built right into the block. They got the holes in there for your boxes already in. And like I said, the corners, anything you want. And what they do is they make a lot of them, you know, like a lot of blocks, and then they test them. And if they're not, let's say somebody wants 3,500 PSI or 4,000 PSI, if they're not, they put them in a pile for 2,000 PSI, because some people want that. It depends on the engineer. So I would recommend get a hold of me, and I'll get you in touch with my buddy Ronald to get his blocks if you're going to do a house on a block, because they are superior. I was out at that operation. It's over towards New Valley somewhere, but they deliver all over. And it's just absolutely, if you're going to get block, that's where you get it. And you ain't breaking those blocks with your hand. You know, now these ones across the street here, if you look, well, the truck's in the way now, but if you look at the ones on the bottom, they're all saturated. I don't think they're going to be any good. You know, so be careful. You know, make sure if you're going to do a place, it's done right. Sometimes you can buy a used place that a family builds, and they're not going to put that stuff up, because they're thinking that's going to be our house, we're going to live there, so they'll do it right. But when you get these builders, if they would just come down here and look at this block that are all broken and say, hey, what's this, and just take a look, maybe they would stop it. You know, but I don't know what to tell you. It just seems, you know, they're office people, and that's not their job. That's up to the foreman. Now, our foreman, you know, he's pretty fussy. The one that built ours, he's building a few of them, but now they got 3 or 4 different crews in here. And I hope they catch that. I will mention it to them when they come, if they start using them, but I don't think you'd be able to stop them. But, I'm going to let you go, and Hope you guys all have a nice day. Don't forget to pray for each other, and don't forget, all this stuff. It seems like the book of Revelation is open, and these things are just falling like dominoes. I do believe this CBDC thing they're talking about, that's going to be part of the mark, because you won't be able to buy or sell without. Do I think it's going to happen tomorrow? No, but it'll progressively go in that direction, where you get on YouTube, you say something they don't like, they'll cut your money off, because it's all going to be controlled by them. And they want to make it worldwide. I hope a lot of countries just no, just say no. I think India and a lot of these countries, they're not going to do it. And then you see down in crap they're pulling in Australia. They're non-stop, guys. They are not stopping. Oh boy, thank you, buddy. You made me a little heart. So, but it's that big steamroller I keep talking about. It's just coming, and the people are just standing there screaming. It's not like it was in the 1800s when the French rose up. They rose up against Macron, against this retirement thing, and he didn't care. He signed it anyway. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care what the will of the people is. And they're saying there's millions of people out there on the streets, and they're fed up with this crap that's going, and they're doing it. And they got their brown shirts, fighting them back, arresting people, doing all that stuff, and they'll throw them in the gulag. And you won't hear from those people anymore. But the people who are doing the real crimes, they're out scot-free, and they're making a fortune off this whole deal. So this tells me, we're headed towards the end. The dollar's going to be shot. That's going to be a done deal with this Sandman thing that's going on. And what are you going to do? You just sort of sit back and look at it and just say, oh well, sitting here, don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Don't forget to pray for each other, and our only salvation is in our Lord Jesus Christ. He was born of a woman, from God. He lived, he preached, he was arrested, trials like they're doing now in the United States, and he was crucified, and the grave couldn't hold him. 3 days later, he popped out, went to sit at the right hand of the Father. So that is the narrow gate, guys. I'm truly convinced now, in all my years, that is the narrow gate that's talked about in the Bible. So that's what you need to do. I know I've heard arguments on baptism or not, and some say you don't have to, and some say you have to be born again and all this. Now me, because Jesus did it, I went and got dunked. I went myself and went and got dunked, because I was just following his lead, and so I feel pretty good about that. So, and I'm not sure if it's a requirement that if you don't, you're doomed. I'm not 100% sure on that one. So time will tell. Well, you guys take care. I'm gonna let you go. I'm babbling a little bit, and this is Rickshaw out.
It's midnight, we're going all night. Can you pass a drink to get the vibe right? Don't feel like having a Bud Light. How's tequila with some salt and lime? Oh my, am I alright? Thanks for asking, doing just fine. Can I say that you're looking real nice? We'll love to chat right now before I get high. When you gaze into my eyes, I feel like I'm on cloud nine. You bang harder than 4th of July.